stuff. Okay, the review question. No, here. There was a collective heart attack going on, wasn't there? Okay, what's due today is the topic selections for your group presentations. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Blackboard. Had somebody worried. Okay, well that's interesting. It's coming. There we go.
So we're done with letter. Yeah.
All right, Blackboard's awake now. So let's go to our favorite folder in here, the assignments folder. Topic selection, due 129 at 4:30. Does anybody in here still need to submit their topic selections? Okay, so your group does. Your group? All right. So get those in today, and then I'll take a look at them, and we can talk about who's doing what on Monday, and I'll provide some more details then about the group presentation, what I'm expecting, and how you're going to amaze me at the end of the semester. Okay. All right. Coming up on, there's nothing due on Monday. This is where you clap. Okay. Nothing due on Monday, but on Wednesday, you do have Chapter 3's assignment due. Okay. Hopefully these are meaningful exercises for you guys as you're progressing through there. Okay. Now, I've added a new assignment coming up. Backwards clap. Okay. Thanks. All right. Moving forward, as we all must do in life and in this course, our next topic, we've been talking about, what was Chapter 3 about?
It's about businesses, like business flow.
Yeah.
And also strategies.
Okay. Business strategies, business flow. Everybody understand what strategies are now? Okay, you're going to be ready and prepped for when you take your strategy course, right? Okay. You know what a value chain is? Anybody still unclear on what a value chain is? Okay. You are. Okay. Value chain is a linked set of activities that basically are used to convert raw materials into finished goods and to help end customers have value, find the value in those goods. Okay. The value chain model, as well as particularly but also when Porter was developing the 5 forces model, the primary type of industry in this country was manufacturing. So a lot of these models, if you think about this in terms of what would this look like for a manufacturing environment, they make a little bit better sense. So with the value chain, you start off with what's called inbound logistics, which just means getting raw materials to your factory. Okay, if we think from a manufacturing perspective. So if I make cell phones, the cases, the screens, the batteries, the circuits, I buy those from my suppliers, and the process of getting them into my facilities, into my organization, purchasing, receiving, paying for, things like that. Okay, so that's inbound logistics. Then once I go from inbound logistics, all of those materials need to pass to operations or manufacturing. This is where the raw materials are assembled, manufactured, transformed into the finished good. That's the core thing that our business does is operations. Then we have to get them out the door, and that's the process of shipping, transportation, routing, and things like that. And that's outbound logistics. Logistics just means coordinating all of these activities around it and keeping it on time. That's what UPS does. And then we also have sales and marketing, which is helping users identify the needs that this product meets, or creating a need that the user didn't know they had. Okay, so that's marketing, and sales. And then finally, there's service and support, which is basically helping the user to properly use their product, whether it's warranty repair, technical support, training, things like that. Okay, so those are the value chain activities, and the idea is after you've assembled your product into your finished good, it's more valuable than the raw materials were. And after you've shipped it out to the customer, or at least to the stores, it's more valuable than it was sitting in your factory. And after you've provided support and they know how to use it, it's even more valuable. So the question is, this chain of activities should be creating a value to your customer that's greater than it's costing you to make it. Okay? So that's why it's called a value chain. So that's the general rule of thumb is you always want the margin between benefit or value to your customer and your cost to be positive. Okay. So that's the idea about looking at those. And then those are the primary activities. The support activities listed are those things your business does that are not part of the value chain but are necessary to keep the value chain going, like keeping the lights on, the accounting, the human resources, finance, those other departments, functions in the organization, purchasing the buildings, maintenance, all of that keeps it going. Much like this university, our core value chain activities surround educating all of you, transforming your minds into something that employers will want to buy. And so, but we have a lot of stuff that supports that, grounds care and human resources, tuition and stuff. Okay, that clear? Good. So that's value chain. Value chain, then those activities get broken down into different processes, and those processes are supported by information systems or incorporated into information systems. It's the main message of chapter 3. Okay. Chapter extension 4, which is your next reading, goes into something called knowledge management. Has anybody ever heard of knowledge management? Okay. Is that anyone? Okay, knowledge management is the process of managing knowledge. Okay, so if I ask you on the test, what is in your own words, what is knowledge management? You say, it's the process of managing knowledge. Knowledge management, the idea is organizations, this is becoming kind of a popular idea, organizations have intelligence. We kind of sometimes think of them as living things, but organizations are just made up of you. You're the living part of the organization. But collectively, all together, we know stuff. Because even in this class, we have a broad range of experience. In your groups, we talked about, in the early exercise, you have complementary skills that you should be able to work on, and you have different experience with your group members. So the idea is you can, if you understand what everybody knows, then you can kind of coordinate that better. Your group can respond better to what it is you're trying to do. Okay, so knowledge management, you'll read about this in that exercise, and I think most of you are probably still working on chapter 3, right? Okay, so we won't go into lots of details of knowledge management today. We can kind of come back to this on Monday maybe and give some more concrete examples. But there's 2 types of knowledge management systems that we're considering. One of them is called a content management system. The assignment is you will need to identify one online, and there's some considerations that are brought up in the chapter extension. Basically, this is just take what you learned and apply it. So I've given you a handful that you can look at, or you can find your own, and say how well does it do in terms of these 5 criteria. Okay. Then there's a second one that focuses more on getting people to talk to each other. This is where blogs, Facebook, Twitter comes into play as far as business perspective, and discussion groups, email lists, things like that. And the question here is, how do we get people to talk to each other and find answers, connecting people with the information with people who need that information? So you'll answer some questions about that, and you'll turn it in, and that will be due, let me look at the schedule. Okay. A week from today, so Friday.